Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Con Life. Here with Brian and Marie Bridgeforth of Bridgeforth Design Studio. We are here at the Meadowview Convention Center, Conapalooza 2018, and they're doing a little bit of a exhibition slash show here for us. So we have some artwork of theirs. Let's go to the cam here. As you can see, we have some custom artwork. If you want to actually show it on your camera.
Just hold it up? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
there you go. You can hold that up. If you want to explain if this was a commission or if this was a custom artwork of your own design. And
Okay, yeah. Well, like everyone else, I went to see Black Panther. And again, we're a concept design studio. So literally, the person or the creator with the idea comes to us and we try to dig around in their heads to get some sort of ideas, designs, drawings, yakety smackety.
Yeah.
But the first thing we do is just concept sketching. So what we do is looking for shapes, forms, or something really fast before you talk yourself out of something cool.
Absolutely.
We use markers instead of pencils so we don't erase anything. But this is before it goes into any sort of painting by Marie or any 3D modeling or anything out. We usually throw out a bunch of concept sketches and stuff. So everything from robot head shapes, something looks like Bumblebee from Transformers.
Yeah.
Even
a little Iron Man inspiration there. Yeah.
Sort of redesign kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just concept sketching. It's a lot of fun.
Very
and
nice.
Literally you're communicating with the creator to try to get that idea, their initial idea out of their head as fast as you can.
Absolutely.
So,
and I see Marie also has some other commission works here.
Yeah, this is some pen and ink. Brian?
Yeah,
pen and ink that Brian has done. This was a commission. And explain what this is.
A friend of ours, John, commissioned us to do one painting, and this is one of the incidences where you start one thing and then it leads into a whole bunch of paintings.
Yeah.
So he wanted to take venom and inject it into different characters and see what would happen.
Yeah.
So this is, what do you call it, symbiote or something?
Yeah, Venom symbiote has effectively taken over Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he is this is Peter Parker is no more, and this is just Venom inside of the spider suit.
Yeah, we think the Spider-Man part would really the kindness, sincere, loving part of it would just rebel against the other part.
Yeah.
So literally tears them apart kind of thing. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the next illustration is what if that was injected into the Joker.
Yeah.
So the Joker, of course, he loves it.
Of course he does, because the power that it gives him, and also I would like to think that the Venom symbiote would actually sort of be scared in some ways of the Joker. So that would actually be a little good combo there. I think it'd be fun.
Now Marie is the fine artist in the family. She does a lot of the painting, the realistic looking stuff, the more fine art things. So we'll let her explain that.
Yeah. You want to, Marie?
These are watercolor. They're just some nature sketches. We also do a lot of different types, fantasy watercolors as well as just regular landscape type stuff.
Well, a lot of artists are using Photoshop to mimic watercolor, oil painting, and things like that.
Yeah,
and we found out that it's easier actually to grab some oil paints or some watercolors and paint it.
Okay.
This is actually an oil on canvas.
That's very nice. So was this a commission, or was this just more?
Well, actually, the commission was for 3 really big paintings, and my wife and I haven't painted in over 20 years together.
No, with oil.
With oil, especially.
Yeah.
So we had to sort of rehearse. And again, it was one of those things where the client wanted 3 big paintings done, but we wanted the client to actually be able to choose a certain style or look.
Aesthetic for what it
and so we generated a ton of little paintings and actually a really big link painting, Legend of Zelda.
4 foot by 4 foot.
4 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah, I've seen that one in your all's office. That's a really cool one.
So that was a lot of fun. But again, a lot of the concept work that we work on, we'll do 2 and 3 versions of it. So that leaves a lot of original art left over.
Oh yeah.
And so that's what we offer to the public. They like to pick up a piece of it's original. But again, we'll normally do a few drawings of something or a few paintings of something.
And lastly, this pen and ink. Let's see, get it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the dark crystals. So this is just actually we were testing out drawing with just a ballpoint pen or gel pen, I believe. So again, it's the same thing. You have a blank piece of paper and you just start on it rendering. You don't erasing anything, and you just let it go and see what comes out of it.
Just just go.
Yeah,
and that's awesome, man. I mean, would you say that your art style, in terms of how you like sketch and do all that, is effectively like Bob Ross? There are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
We have a studio based off of that principle, happy accidents.
Yeah.
Again, we back in the old days when I was in high school, the thing was to draw photorealistic stuff. Okay, everyone loved it and they admired it.
Yeah.
But it was really more of a technical exercise, not necessarily a creative exercise. Because your compliments would be, wow, that looks exactly like a photograph. Not, wow, that character's cool.
Yeah.
Or man, what a dramatic landscape. It was always technical. So the things that come from that is that the older we've got, and since I've met Marie and we've got into game design, it's really about fantasy. It's about taking something that doesn't exist, but using that technical ability to make it look real.
Yeah.
So, it's sort of and then it changes from every client. It's always something different.
Yeah.
You never know.
One day could be mining, design, CAD work, and the next day it's totally fantasy.
Yeah, we have a total
exciting.
Open. We have an open door policy where we do everything from logos to site drawings, architectural renderings. Our backgrounds are designing furniture, kids' toys, a little bit of everything. And so what we try to do is work with everyone that walks through our studio doors. As far as money, we always say, well, come to us with a budget and we'll see what we can do for you. And so far with that approach, we don't turn down really anyone. We can do something for everyone.
I hear you. And that's a good way of approaching things, that you never leave. It's pretty much leaving no stone unturned. So if someone comes in with a concept that you never considered before, and then all of a sudden, the very moment that they put the idea in your head, immediately that inspires you to do more and more and different things. It's just like the project that we're working on. A little bit of a segue into that, Gods and Monsters, which the original artwork was submitted to me. If you want to pull one of those off there, Marie.
Yeah, the original concepts were absolutely great. So it was exciting work. Still exciting working on it.
Yeah, the concept artwork was done by Gabriel Nunez, who is listed down here. I'm listing him as a creator on the project and everything. Me and him, we hashed out a pretty good story. I've done a little more detail writing on it, and I submitted these to Brian for commission for him to effectively turn them into 3D models. And for one of them, he did. Actually, let me go grab it over here. Oh God, Nikki. I was wondering.
That's just cool.
I'm just joking. No, you look great.
That's pretty.
You look great.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You can't see what Nikki looks like. Let me actually get a little quick pic of this in case she doesn't come on the camera. Here we go.
Actually, why don't you come around?
Yeah,
come around and be with us.
There she is. Hello. Oh, you're taking a video. That's a small video. Okay, so
come around and be with us.
Come on around. Pull up the seat. Pull up the chair. We have here the 3D model that was originally was concepted to us by Gabriel, was turned into a 3D masterwork by this man right here, with levels of intricacy. Like, look at the level of intricacy on this. Look at how the hollow smokestack, the exhaust pipes. I mean, the little servos down here. Everything from front to back. It is quite literally a masterwork of just. Thank you so much for making this a reality.
Oh, all started with Gabriel, man. That concept was amazing. Well, it was a challenge too, but it was great.
Yeah, and we are making this into something. And Gabriel, if Gabriel's able to make it to the next con that we're presenting at with this, I will, like, honestly, I'll put you up for however long you need.
Yeah.
Like we need you here, man. We need you here to sign and like do autographs on all this.
That's right. Yeah, man. It's amazing work.
Yeah, can't have art without the artist present. But,
that's right.
But this right here, and also several others that are coming as well. The concept for Gods and Monsters, I did not know what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to try and make like a media franchise out of it in some way, whether it's an animated series or a comic book or something like that. Mm-hmm. But instead, you were the one who suggested a board game. I should try and make it into a board game to try and make it an immersive experience for customers, so that they would have great experiences with it, and they would be able to make something of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's what sprung this whole thing forward, and thus the board game concept was brought into play, and now we're going ahead more and more, more and more closer to full steam every day, and hopefully here soon at the next convention, hopefully before next year, we'll have a prototype board finished, so that way we can do demos of it and see what works, what doesn't work, play test everything, and they will assist with the artwork with us along the way.
Well, plus I'm hoping that the models are actually this big. I think if the pieces were this big on the board, man, I couldn't put it down.
That'd literally be huge. That'd be actually, we talked about making that, if we ever do a Kickstarter, we'll do a colossal edition where we have all the pieces, including the buildings, that big. It'll be like a huge box, it'll be separate boxes. It'll be the board. It'll be the board and one set in one, and then another set in another box altogether.
Man, I would die on that.
That'd be awesome. It'd be freaking huge. And so Brian, you actually were wanting to do a little bit of a sketch.
Yeah. So, well, this is the fun part about the job. Well, you really don't know what's going to happen, so. I said, well, okay, say for instance, we're going to design a monster or something like that, I'll just work on the head because that's a lot faster. Okay. Basically, you just let the marker start going and you just try to figure out something. Okay, I got another here. And, we could do something sort of like a mech or something. All right.
Oh, and he's drawing this real time. It's not sped up.
Well, it's just the first thing that sort of comes out of your head, shapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you sort of just kind of turn it into something. So, okay, and this is the shoulder here. All right. And I start taking and breaking the surface a little bit. Maybe a pipe out of the back. And again, I kind of like drawing the mechs and the droids. They're a little bit more difficult to model in 3D, but they're sort of real fast to do a quick concept of a head or something.
Okay.
And so, just take it out there. And again, I'll take these grays and sort of just start working out areas and making decisions of stuff I want to keep.
Okay.
So, I definitely like that piece there, this piece here. And again, this is just a quick gesture to sort of get the project going or have some ideas. So when Nathan comes in, he can sort of show him some things, what we've been thinking about. So again, you don't want to spend a lot of time, just something really fast.
Yeah. Let me actually get the whole webcam on here with all this. There we go.
All right.
And put this down here where the space is a little bit clearer. And sort of this out of there. There we go.
Okay.
So
and again,
this is in real time, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is just doing this concept right here, right now, just lining it out as he goes.
Well, again, just shapes and what it is I'm sort of thinking or sort of not thinking about it, just letting your hand move, hoping that I would accidentally stumble into something kind of cool that if I don't use for this model, I may use for the next model.
Accidental brilliance.
Well, if you want to call it that, I call it happy accidents.
Oh, there you go.
Like my man Bob with the afro.
Of course.
But yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Bob, as a lot of people refer to him.
Oh yeah, well that's the great thing about his technique as far as, there are no errors in anything, there are no mistakes. Lots of times when you draw with pencils and with erasers on them, you're insecure about something new that you've done, so you have a tendency to erase it off instead of going with that idea that accidentally might change something,
Actually, I just remembered something. There was a day my mom, who's an art teacher, by the way, brought in these pieces of paper and gave us pencils that didn't have erasers on them.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I was just like, wait, what? And she just wanted us to work on, and she put these things up, drawing objects with shadows and everything.
Right.
And she says, give me your best perspective of this.
Oh wow.
I want you to give me shadows. I want you to give me shading. I want you to give me whatever you see. Just put it on here, and also no erasers.
Yeah.
So don't draw anything finite until you're sure where you want it to be.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, okay. And me being a dummy, I have a very hard a very hard writing style. I dig in there with a pen or a pencil, and I can't help myself. There's actually times I actually accidentally rip through the paper. I'm writing so hard and so fast. It's like. Uh-oh. Yeah. But I see this and I'm just like, it's almost like you're floating on the paper almost. It's
Well,
just like
that's the thing
so
about,
effortless.
although we do digital painting, digital matte painting, and digital concept work, well, lots of times if you use programs like Photoshop and some of these other renderers, you calculate how much time you're actually moving tools around, zooming in and zooming out and stuff like that, versus on pencil and paper, you had 100% working on the product.
Yeah.
So, I always say, well, if I take this piece of paper and I put 10 pencils on it and have to keep moving those pencils around just to get to my art, to me that's sort of similar to how it works when you use a lot of these digital programs with tools all over the place. As in it's easier sometimes to pull out a pencil, piece of paper, or a marker and just sort of sketch it out and then fine tune it in Photoshops and stuff like that.
Okay.
But really the whole thing is just to get a shape, a gesture, a form, something that you can sort of just start am I folded the wrong way?
No,
okay.
there you go.
Just like that.
Something
No,
you can just start the gig off with, and hopefully they'll like something, or you'll like something about it that you'll keep, and
Absolutely.
just crank out a bunch of those in a day's time, and then come back and refine them some.
Roger that, man.
That's literally what the process is.
It looks really good. That looks
I
really, really
appreciate it.
good, man. I mean, I'm just sitting here like a dum-dum. I'm like, holy crap. So I actually had to flip this over here because I had the thing the wrong way.
That's
So
awesome,
I actually this was actually upside down, so I'm probably going to correct that later on in post production. So yeah, that'll be fun. That's going to be a fun time in the editor. But hey,
Did you know what you were going to do before you started?
No, that's the thing about it is you really don't want to know, and lots of times you just want your like this automobile kind of thing I started on. Sometimes I'll sit around and just do a bunch of gray stuff, draw some lines, and just see what's going on. Because once you start predicting it, you can start freezing an idea. Like this, if I wanted a huge motor on it or something like that, make it sort of look like a space car or Hot Wheels with something on it.
okay.
Just to break the shape up. When it's too planned, that's more when you move into more of the illustration part. But during the concept phase, you want it wide open. You want some music playing.
Yeah.
The first thing that falls out of your head, you put it on the paper. Don't worry about messing anything up, because you might accidentally find something cool that you never would have thought about in a million years. So it's literally a minefield that you're creating.
Speaking of music playing,
Oh yeah, man! That's
the Doom soundtrack,
definitely.
BFG division, yeah. Which fortunately I am able to play because Mick Gordon is such a cool guy. He doesn't do the copyright thing.
Oh, cool,
on it, and
man.
he actually allows people to like use it in their videos and stuff, and doesn't care.
Well, I can plug a song, Keenan.
Absolutely.
Hate, breed, destroy everything.
Hate, breed,
I was
destroy
at a
everything.
Gore concert and they played that over the PA system, and I almost lost my mind. Gods and Monsters popped right
Just
in my
right in your
head.
head, yeah. You
So-
saw that and you're just like, whoa.
Oh, definitely.
You like had the mindscape. I've seen like certain artists that like you can almost like see their eye twinkle. with
Yes,
with
sir. That's what
excitement.
happened.
It's like, I've got a concept.
Well,
Here
see-
we go.
Well, for landscape painting, it's a little bit different, though. Marie and I love the Rembrandt and guys like that, so we maybe listen to some Wagner or something like that.
Yeah.
Dream Theater for more technical things.
I keep coming in there, and every time I hear your music, I'm just like, wait a second. That's Petrucci and that's Labrie.
Absolutely,
yeah, it's Dream
yeah.
Theater. So there you go.
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
Kendrick,
of course, yeah.
Old
Okay.
Wu-Tang, old school Wu-Tang stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it all matters on the project. Sometimes having that soundtrack to sort of motivate you to do something that you probably never would have tried, but it overall puts you
I
in the mood.
hate somebody.
Absolutely. By the
cool,
way,
though.
she's saying that in the background. There's someone going. "Tee dee 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 dee, away, away."
Oh, man. I'm gonna draw some bottles of Corona.
Now that we got that
Yeah.
song stuck in people's heads,
that's
let's
just
talk
wrong,
about
man.
October Comic Fest coming up.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
So yeah, October Comic Fest is is a little bit of a festival that's being thrown pretty much. How many days is it going to be going on?
Oh, it's just one day.
It's just one day?
It's Saturday, the last Saturday in October every year.
Okay.
It's sponsored mainly by Mountain Empire Comics, who puts on RobCon.
Absolutely.
It's a free comic book day, basically.
Nice.
So we close down 6th Street, where our studio is, in downtown Bristol.
Okay.
Rob is there, and we also have Dave Vault, a magic shop right across the street.
Yeah.
And Hemp Cove is there. We've got a record producer on that street,
It's
brewery.
a cool street,
It's just
Oh, yeah,
like the
Angry
coolest
Italian as well.
Angry
Yeah.
Italian. It's
Yeah.
the coolest.
It's a good street. It's a good street.
The best street in Bristol. Forget about State Street. Sorry, State Street. But
we got a little flyer here for another convention here.
yeah, and
That's it. That's actually so the so what they're doing is they actually have a set number of days for deals that they got going on. From what I see here, in October 22nd through the 31st, and October 23rd through the 21st or through the 31st in Bristol. The first one, 22nd through the 31st in Johnson City, is for $75 for long boxes.
Oh wow!
$40 for short boxes. 30 for 30. That means buy 30 comics or more from our recent comic selections and get them each for only $1.
That's the one I love, the 30 for 30.
The costume contest at 2 p.m. at Mountain Empire Comics. Dress up and win prizes. Graphic novels, trade paperbacks at 25% off. Display comics and statues are 10% off. Save the date. It is October Comic Fest, Halloween. Halloween Comic Fest, October 27th at both
Johnson
City and Bristol for Mountain Empire Comics. So save the date, everybody. If you're interested, come on down.
But one thing I would really like to talk about for 6th Street on October 27th, which is part of October Comic Fest, is that Bridgeforth Design Studio and Renegade Media.
Hello.
We are teaming up. We bring Dreamweaver Entertainment, which is a green screen photography.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And people can come in there dressed up in their costumes, or come in there not dressed up in their costumes. We have props available. You get to come and play on that green screen, watch yourself in real time in that camera, and get a photograph made and printed out right there on the spot for $10 each.
Yeah, and that's honestly, it's a good deal. I mean, and also not only do you have it, the photograph taken and everything, and of yourself in an imaginary scenario. You also have a little bit of Photoshop touch-up done by the master here. He adds in, like, if there's some special effects you want to add, like fire, or if you got the Infinity Gauntlet and you want him to add glare to like you're activating one of the stones, he can do that too.
I love setting people on fire though. That's
well, of course. You remember that one?
Special.
You remember that one where that one girl like wrapped her hands around my head and you made it look like she set my head ablaze?
Yeah.
We actually came up with like a Mortal Kombat-esque fatality for her. It was called Death Ball, in which she would wrap my head in flames, and then she would throw my head up. She would pretty much rip my head off from the flames, and then she would release the flame ball, and it'd just be ashes thrown up into the air.
Oh, man.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, what was the kid that wore green pants and his whole bottom disappeared?
Yeah, and you put a rocket booster under his torso to make it look like he was flying. That was awesome. So cool. That was really cool, man.
That's what you got.
Absolutely.
And
Hey,
it's
you make
so
the best
much
of it.
fun, and it's kind of like when you go to Dollywood and you can dress up like the Old West, except 100 times better.
Oh yeah,
because you can
and also
do
it's nowhere near as
anything.
expensive.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
Well, plus
and
we're
it's
using
so much
the
fun.
Unreal 4 engine and actually generating 3D backgrounds and stuff like that actually move and interact with. So it's just going to be a blast, man.
Absolutely.
Hopefully everybody come turn out.
What day is that again?
It's Saturday, the last Saturday in October, October 27th, from 10 to 6 on 6th Street in Bristol. And if you're not familiar with Bristol, State Street's the main area, and there's Paramount Theater, and we're right behind Paramount Theater, right beside of Mountain Empire Comics. Our whole street is going to be participating.
You'll literally see a building, like part of the building, like the inner skeleton of a building, going down the street. It's where that one section of that building was demolished,
Yeah.
and they left that one side of the building up, and you can like see where the old floors were on the on the rest of the building. Yeah,
we need to put a mural on that, man.
Oh yeah,
we've been wanting to for years, but
well,
hopefully one day.
Well, yeah, honestly, you could talk to the building manager and just be like, hey, just to be like Bridgeforth Design Studios right down here, quote unquote, world famous.
Oh man, put that Queen robot news of the world grabbing some dudes. And
Yeah.
Actually, have it be Marie, like be Marie picking you up, and you're just like,
yeah, that's
it's
about
like
right.
You're there, and you got the Wolverine claw,
You hit it
like
right on the
pins.
head, Jack.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like Bridgeforth Design Studio, and it's just have it be like that.
That's about right. Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be fun to put up there. I know you'd enjoy it because hey, you're picking him up and just be like, get to work.
about right.
No, I need to pick him up and say, chill out and quit working all the time. That's what I need to say to him. Yeah.
As you put it, you find him at like 3 a.m. still working on something.
Absolutely drives me crazy.
Well, all the elves we hired quit. So when people come there, they just see the two of us. They assume we have 30 elves or an army of artists working. So once the elves quit, somebody's got to pick up for that labor problem. So
elves,
that's
wimps.
it.
They only work 3 months out of the year. You know, you hire Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, we need some.
That ain't right, dude. That's cool.
I've got another drawing for you.
Oh,
you messed the
that's
lines up.
awesome.
Do it again.
Oh, man. Yeah, that might knock out 1 o'clock in the morning. Look, when you're up long enough for Mannix to come on, you're up long enough.
Yeah, you are. You are up long enough. Yeah. Speaking of long enough, I'd say this was fun. We got a good 45 minutes worth of footage there.
Oh, cool. Man.
Hopefully, most of it's salvageable
Awesome.
because and I'll just edit myself out of it, so that way it is salvageable. Then.
No.
You gotta be in
I'm
there,
being
man.
stupid. And for those of you interested in also seeing more of their artwork that you couldn't see here, including more detailed views of the murals that you see behind us of the gigantic Mecha Godzilla, the Cobalt Samurai concept, and also the rest of the concepts that Brian has drawn up, feel free to check out their Instagram, feel free to check out their website, their Facebook. All of that will be linked in the description down below.
And email us and we can arrange a visit to the studio, which
Absolutely.
we always enjoy.
Absolutely.
That'll be fun.
So I want to thank Brian and Marie Bridgeforth for sitting with me here and shooting the shit for a little bit.
Oh, you're fun, man.
and also, I would like to thank them for going into this with me and going into this demo, going into this convention, and just having a ball with them and
well, dude, one thing about
getting
it is,
interest up about Gods and Monsters.
One thing about it is your personality. I mean, you bring so much fun to our studio as far as working with you. We are constantly laughing, having a good time.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that that's what all of this is all about. When everything gets too serious and too many frowns on the faces, that's not the reasons why we create this stuff. We create this stuff to laugh, to party, to have fun, to bring excitement. And again, working with you, you really have brought all that to us.
Yeah.
So again, we appreciate you a lot more than we appreciate us. This has been a blast, man.
Absolutely.
I'm just happy y'all haven't gotten tired of me yet.
Oh no, not going to happen.
This is fun, man.
All right, and I'd also like to thank Nikki back here for pretty much being our resident social media handler, helping
awesome.
Marie set up the Instagram and everything, and also helping me out with keeping the booth in order, and also sick face painting there. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Awesome, man.